Last year, Alan worked 5 days a week for 48 weeks. The graph shows how Alan travelled to work each day. On how many days did Alan travel by bus? So first of all, let's work out in the year, how many days did Alan work in total? So let's write that down first of all. So the total days worked will be 48 weeks multiplied by 5 days. But let's not work that out just yet. Let's just leave that there so we know what we are doing. Now, what does this graph show us? This graph is like a pie graph, it's called. And we can see that it's broken into different sections showing what proportions or what fractions of the week or of the days he used each of these modes of transport. So let's see how they have divided up the graph or divided up the pie graph. We can count that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 sections. Now, how many of those sections are taken up by the bus portion of the graph? So we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what does this mean? This as a fraction means that for 5 out of 12 portions, or out of a whole of 12, and 12 could be, we don't know what that might mean, what is a whole, but there's 12 in the total. 5 out of 12 of those is by bus. Now, what do we do when we have a fraction and we want to find a fraction of an amount? Because we want to find the fraction of the total days worked. When we have the word of, that means we multiply. So the number of days catching the bus would be all the days, which is 48 multiplied by 5, and then multiplied by the 5/12. But again, this doesn't look very easy right now. So is there a way to make that easier? There is. What we can do is we can rewrite this as, first of all, 48 times 5 times 5, and then divided by 12. So that we don't have a fraction, because when we have 5 over 12, that means 5 divided by 12. Now I can see that it's much easier to divide 48 by 12, and since these first group of numbers are all multiplied, I can write them in any order. So I will rewrite them as 5 times 5 times 48 divided by 12. Okay, so that's really good. So now I know that 48 divided by 12 is 4. So this is looking much easier already. And then I could next decide to do either 5 times 5 or 5 times 4. Let's just stick with 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. And so now I have 5 times 20 left. And 5 times 20 is equal to 100. So on how many days did Alan travel by bus? C, 100 days.